JEM is my name, no one else is the same. JEM is my name. JEM.
So JEM and the Holograms do a Broadway musical in this one, and it has probably the funniest lyric I've heard.
Singers and dancers stepping in time. Music you hum, lyrics that rhyme.
I should hope so. Hey everyone, come see our Broadway show. The lyrics rhyme. Oh God, I love this show. Okay, so the episode is there's some goofy stuff in this episode. I mean, particularly goofy, even compared to stuff we've seen before. There's a scene where so there's this guy putting on a Broadway musical. And he's like, oh, I'm missing something for my Broadway musical. Oh, what am I gonna do? And there's these. He's in an office, and there's people outside on that scaffold that hangs off the top of the building so that they can clean the windows. And one guy, falls off the scaffolding. He's holding. I was like, I'm gonna die. And they're listening to the radio. The guy's cleaning the windows, and there's a song on it. And the guy's like, of course! Music! That's what I need in my musical! Music! I thought I was missing something. So the guy falls. The window washer falls off the scaffolding all the way to the ground. They're on the first floor.
Yes, it's what I've been missing. All along, I've been doing a musical without music.
I honestly did not see that coming. That is a particularly silly gag, but I enjoyed it. We then cut to JEM and the Holograms, or Jarek and the Holograms, actually, are on a beach playing volleyball. Rio and some other guy is sitting over by the side musing. It's like, oh, I love Jerica, but even though we're close, I feel like we're apart. Oh, angst. And he sees the paper. It's like,
Hey, Jerica! Kimber! Everyone!
just completely kicks it over. There's a lot of stuff like that in this episode. It's really weird. There's another great bit at the end of the episode where what happens is both the Misfits and the Holograms audition for the musical. And Merv Griffin, or whoever this guy is, says, I'm going to announce the winner tonight on Lindsay's television music show. So they're both there, and he goes, it's the Holograms! And Pizzazz is like, son of a bitch, oh no, you don't! And she walks over and she grabs the fire hose off the wall in case the building catches fire, just sprays him down. It's like, you were saying? He's like, you can be the understudies? Like, if anything happens to the Holograms, you can do it. And she's like, okay. I'm sure nothing will happen to the Holograms. So of course, the Holograms end up they're like, hey, wait, Rio is sweet on JEM, so we're gonna write a fake love note, and Pizzazz dictating this love note to Stormer, who's writing it down, is hilarious. So it's like, meet me at the top of the Statue of Liberty, and I'll confess my love. So JEM, of course, goes up there, and they lock her in and leave. And so JEM is like, oh no, I've got to get to the Broadway place by 8. So she sees some dock work. So she's stuck in the crown of the Statue of Liberty, and she sees some dock people working on the dock, which is where dock workers work, typically. So she takes one of the Gemstar earrings and chucks it off the Statue of Liberty. It lands on the ground. Luckily, it doesn't break, even though Roxy elbowed it and dented the hell out of it in an earlier episode. Well, it's probably really light, so it doesn't fall too hard. Like, if you dropped an ant off of the Empire State Building, it would just whomp, be fine. So, a hologram of her appears, and it's like, hi, I need help. And she runs to the Statue of Liberty, and they run up after her. Oh, I'm going way out of order here. Eric Bad Guy put a bounty on JEM's real name. He's like, $100,000 for anyone who can tell me who JEM really is. So the dock workers are like, hey, it's JEM. Let's go find out who she really is. So they follow the hologram upstairs, unlock the room that JEM's stuck in, and they say, hey, we'll let you out and get you where you need to go if you tell us who you are. And she goes, okay. And so one guy, the two guys escort her to the speedboat. One guy turns traitor and kicks the other guy out of the speedboat. And she's like, hey, that's your buddy. He's like, hey, you can swim, it's fine. So he takes her across the bay and drops her off. He says, all right, now tell me who you are. And she goes, okay, Synergy, showtime. And she takes off her head, and she's him. A full Mission Impossible face reveal kind of thing. He's like, oh my god, I'm JEM! And he falls in the water, and she throws him a floaty donut, and she's like, just in case you can't swim. And so she's like, okay. And she's running through town. She gets in a cab, but it gets stuck by a parade. So she gets out and she borrows some kid's skateboard. And she's like, can I borrow this? He's like, okay. And she's like, I'll get you tickets to my next show. Whoever you are, random kid in New York who I'll probably never see again. And she skateboards into the subway terminal and she throws a token. Oh, she actually does throw money at the cab that she gets out of. And then she throws a token at the token guy and then does like a kick. Well, I don't think she kick flips, but she does jump over the turnstile and lands on the skateboard in heels. Damn, Jerica. Well done. And takes the subway to somewhere else and then goes up on top of the building where the annual hang glider convention happens to be. And she muscles this guy's face. She's like, I need this more than you do. And he's like, okay, but do you even know how to fly this? She goes, nope. Jumps off the building on a hang glider and lands on the roof of the correct building where the Broadway show is. And the Misfits and the Holograms see her through a skylight. And it's like, well, she's here, but she's never going to get changed in time, not knowing she's a hologram. So she comes off the roof downstairs completely in her new outfit, and they're like, that was an amazing quick change. And they go on, and the Misfits don't. So, yeah. Oh man, this episode is... There's some... aside from the goofiness, there is a couple other notable things. When the holograms are auditioning... Eric Bad Guy's really not having it, but Merv Griffin or whoever it is like, yeah, he's really into it. But surprisingly, so are the Misfits. They especially Stormer, she really digs it. But even Pizzazz and Roxy are kind of into it, and then in another shot seem to catch themselves and are like, no, don't like it that much. Yeah, even the Misfits recognize talent. And the fun thing is the Misfits are actually a talented band. Their music is good. Their claim is our music is better, and on the whole, I have to say I am probably a bigger fan of the Misfits' music. But they're both good performances. And they both have lyrics that rhyme. Music you hum, lyrics that rhyme. That's like at a gas station advertising that we have clean bathrooms. Well, I should certainly hope so. If you have to advertise that fact, you start scaring me. What else? Oh, there's a big thing. They ask Synergy for help because people are trying to figure out who JEM really is, and she's like,
in the wrong hands, my holograms could be used for evil, and innocent people could be hurt. You must not tell anyone about me, and you must not reveal that you and JEM are one and the same.
Except, Aja and Kimber and Shayna, who already know. That wasn't a big deal. I guess can we make an exception for Rio? Come on. Really, you're really causing... I understand the fate of the world may somehow be in the balance here, but... he jumped on a bear for you, Jerica! I think he can be trusted, So, Rio is actually, as anyone would, suspecting that Jem and Jerrica may be the same person. So he goes to... this isn't set up really well. This is another one of those... I'm kind of intuiting what's going on rather than the show showing me what's going on. Because it shows him in a room in front of a vanity, looking like he's about to open a drawer and then being like, nah. And it's like, is he in Jem's dressing room? All that really would have needed was a door with Jem on the door. You know, so it's, okay, he's in Jem's dressing room. Because Jerrica walks in. Rio, what are you doing? He's like, he's like, you're trying to find out who Jem is too. You don't trust us. I thought I loved you. Get out, Rio! And he hangs his head and walks out with his tail between his legs. So you can intuit what was going on, but again, it might be things were cut for time. Although this episode had a PSA at the end. One of those, you remember G.I. Joe always did the PSA, and now you know, and knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe! Yeah, oh god. Oh, that was too high. G.I. Joe, real American hero, G.I. Joe is there. There we go. Oh, that's a much more comfortable range. A lot of 80s action heroes could go real high in their register. You ever notice that? I mean, you had He-Man. You know, I have the power! It's like way up there. And Lion-O and Thundercats. It's like, Thunder! Thunder! Thundercats! Ho! It's like, man, how do these big beefy action heroes get so high up in their register? Of course, I have a lot of people ask me, Andrew, how do you get so low in your register? And it's just, your voice does what your voice does. You know, this octave down here where I speak, that's just naturally where my voice sits. So, it's like, how do you do that? That's just my voice. So, it's funny because a lot of people are like, oh my god, Andrew, that's so amazing, you have such a deep voice. And it's like, yeah, but I can't sing the melody for shit. So I listen to melody singers, I'm like, oh man, must be great to be able to sing that high. I mean, I can fake it a little bit, but I have I have a bad melody voice. I don't sing melody very well. I mean, I can sing it if I can keep it in a range that my voice can physically hit. I can sing it accurately, but it's just not a pleasant melody voice. This has nothing to do with Jem and the Holograms. Maybe tangentially related. Man, I didn't even eat any sugar today, and I'm just bouncing off the walls. I don't drink coffee, I don't eat sugar, nothing. I don't know what my problem is. This show has me jazzed. Jem is a drug. Where was I? So, Rio runs after Jerrica, who's out in Central Park somewhere, and he catches up with her. He's like, look, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter who Jem is, all that matters is you, but the only thing that makes sense to me is if you two are the same person. Are you the same person? Commercial break. And it comes back and Synergy shows a hologram of Jem over on the other side of the park, and she's like, you were saying? It's like, oh, man, come on. Are we going to do this for the entire run? No spoilers, please. Anyway, Jem. Jem is great. I like Jem, and I'm starting to melt because it's getting very hot, so I'm going to go towel off. Hi.
My darling Jem, I am so sorry for everything I said.
I want to tell you how much I care for you. Let's meet at...